Dear friends, welcome to another episode today in the military world. In this video, we will talk about nuclear aircraft, addressing a frequently asked question on this topic: why don't they exist? On December 2, 1942, in highly secretive facilities in Chicago as part of the Manhattan Project for the atomic bomb, a team of nuclear scientists led by Enrico Fermi conducted the first controlled nuclear reaction in history by activating the Chicago Pile-1, the world's first operational nuclear reactor. This milestone marked the beginning of the nuclear era. Despite the initial practical use of nuclear energy for war and destruction, the experiments in Chicago revealed that nuclear energy could be utilized for civilian purposes, both for generating large amounts of electricity and powering large vehicles, vessels, and even aircraft. Indeed, only 12 years after that first experiment, in 1954, the USS Nautilus, the world's first nuclear-powered submarine, became operational. Despite its experimental nature, the USS Nautilus definitively proved that nuclear energy could be employed to propel large vehicles. Thus, in the context of the Nuclear Aircraft Program, NAP, the United States began developing engines and prototypes of nuclear reactors specifically for aviation in the early 1950s. At that time, the largest U.S. bomber was the B-36 Peacemaker, a true sky monster much larger than the B-29, with a wingspan of 70 meters and a length of nearly 50 meters. Its first version was powered by 6 enormous Pratt & Whitney R-4360 engines, a highly upgraded version of the engines used in the B-29, providing a range of up to 6,000 kilometers while carrying close to 30 tons of bombs. Despite its impressive performance for that era, during the early Cold War, the United States needed bombers with even greater ranges. However, even with the use of new jet engines, achieving a substantial increase in range proved challenging. This led the NAP to focus on creating a nuclear-powered version of the B-36. If successful, the nuclear version of the bomber would theoretically be capable of staying in flight for days or even weeks, reaching any point on the planet's surface with up to 30 tons of bombs. In 1955, the NB-36H, a prototype with a nuclear reactor on board, flew for the first time. However, the reactor was only used to test its behavior in flight and the protective anti-radiation shield. In other words, nuclear energy was not directly used to propel the bomber. The following year, a turbojet J-47 was powered by a ground-based nuclear reactor, marking the first time an aircraft engine operated based on nuclear energy. The United States selected this engine to equip the planned WS-15, intended to be the world's first nuclear bomber. However, technical difficulties were numerous, starting with the weight and volume of the reactor and, especially, its anti-radiation shield. The experimental reactor installed in the NB-36H weighed over 16 tons and occupied almost a quarter of the aircraft's usable space. Additionally, it took up a significant portion of the bomb bay since it was the only location from which the reactor could be fueled and inspected. This required the crew cabin to be completely sealed and heavily armored, further increasing the aircraft's weight. Despite these challenges, the United States persisted in the program until 1961 when, after spending over $1 billion, the program was finally canceled. The U.S. Air Force concluded that the use of nuclear reactors in aircraft was impractical and, moreover, very dangerous. In the event of an aircraft crash, a large amount of nuclear fuel could be scattered over areas that might be urban or rural, directly affecting the soil and local populations for years or even decades. The Soviets also experimented in this area, resulting in the Tu-95 LAL in 1961, similar to the NB-36H in that the reactor was never used to directly propel it. However, the Soviets faced similar difficulties to the United States and subsequently canceled the program. From the 1960s onward, with the range of intercontinental ballistic missiles greatly increasing, and considering all the difficulties mentioned, all programs in the United States and the Soviet Union involving aircraft powered by nuclear reactors were cancelled. A project in this area only resurfaced in February 2018 when Vladimir Putin announced a Russian cruise missile project powered by a nuclear reactor. According to Putin, the missile would be capable of flying for weeks and be highly maneuverable, reaching any point on the Earth's surface. There are indications that the Russians may have tested the missile, but all available information suggests that all tests failed, with a confirmed crash in 2017. The missile, named 9M730, is considered impractical and raises serious security questions. A missile flying for days or weeks would inevitably be detected and tracked by radars, eliminating the element of surprise. Regarding safety, A.